Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel Increase Your Knowledge. I am Amrita and I am your online teacher. So guys, today's topic is technical interview questions on C++ and this is part 4. So let's start today's topic, and the first question is, what do you mean by destructor and C++? So guys, in previous video we already discussed about constructor, right? So do you remember what I told you about the constructor? Okay, I told you that the constructor is a special method which is invoked automatically at the time of object creation, right? What I said that constructor invoked automatically at the time of object creation. Clear? And destructor invoked automatically when object goes out of scope or is explicitly destroyed. Clear? So I hope you got clear what is the difference between constructor and destructor. Let's discuss in detail on destructor. A destructor is a member function that invoked automatically when the object goes out of scope or is explicitly destroyed by a call to delete. Clear? A destructor has the same name as the class and preceded by tilde. And this is the syntax of tilde. Okay. For example, the destructor for class string is declared tilde string, and this is the syntax of destructor. Please note this. Okay. So So if interviewer asks you what is destructor, what is the syntax of destructor, at that time you can simply describe all this thing. Okay. So the question may arise like, is destructor overloading is possible or not? Let's see. No. In the case of destructor, overloading is not possible. Destructor take no arguments, so there's only one way to destroy an object. That's the reason destructor overloading is not possible. Clear? So next question is, what is inheritance in C++? Inheritance is a process in which one object or class acquires all the properties and behavior of its parent's object or class automatically. Clear? Let's see one example. Like this is class A and this is class B. And here class B acquire all the properties and behavior of class A. So class B is known as derived class. Clear? And class A is known as base class. Base class. Clear? Why class A is known as base class and class B is known as derived class? So the class whose member are inherited is known as base class, and the class which inherits the member of another class is known as derived class. Clear? So I hope you got clear what is the difference between base class and derived class. Let's see. So you can reuse, extend or modify the attribute and behavior which are defined in other class. The class which inherits the member of another class is known as derived class. The class which inherits, or we can say the class which inheriting all the properties of another class is known as derived class. Clear? And the class whose member are inherited is known as base class. The derived class is a specialized class for the base class. Clear? Okay, next. What is the type of inheritance? There are 5 types. First is what? Single inheritance, multiple inheritance, hierarchical inheritance, and multi-level inheritance and hybrid inheritance. Let's see one by one. What is a single inheritance in C++? In case of single inheritance, a derived class is inherited from the only one base class. Clear? So here class A is what? Base class, and class B is derived class, right? And class B inheriting all the properties of and behavior of class A, right? Let's see one example. Here class animal is what? Base class. Here class animal is base class and class dog is derived class, and here class dog inheriting all the properties and behavior of class animal. So this is the example of single inheritance. Note this example. Next question. What is the multiple inheritance in C++? Multi-level. Multi-level inheritance is a process of deriving a class from another derived class. This means that the class which is already inheriting the property of another class, that class is being inherited by another class. What I say? I said that the class which is already inheriting the property or behavior of another class, that class is being inherited by another class. For example, class B inheriting all the property of class A. So class A is what? Base class, and class B is what? Class B is derived class for class A. ठीक है? Okay. And class C inheriting all the property and behavior of class B. Clear? So here class B work as base class for class C, right? So this is the example of multi-level inheritance. For example, here class animal is what? Class animal is base class, right? And class dog is base class, and class dog inheriting all the property of class animal, right? And class baby class is derived class, and here class dog work as base class, right? Class dog is work as base class, and class baby dog work inheriting all the property and behavior of class dog, right? So this is the example of multi-level inheritance. Please note this example. Okay. And the next question is, what is multiple inheritance? In the case of multiple inheritance is the process of deriving a new class that inherits the attribute from two or more classes. Clear? So here maybe more than one base class exist. Okay. For example, class A is base class. Clear? Class B is also base class. Okay. Class A is base class, class B is also base class, and class C inheriting all the property of class A and class B. So class C is what? Derived class. Class C is what? Derived class, but class A and class B is what? Base class. So this is the example of multiple inheritance where maybe more than base class exist. Okay. So this is the example of multiple inheritance. Note down. Okay. Next is, what is hybrid inheritance in C++? Hybrid inheritance is a combination of more than one type of inheritance. Clear? For example, class A is here class A is base class, and class B is derived class, and class B inheriting all the property of class A, right? and class C, this is class C, and class D inheriting all the property of class B and class C. So this is the example of single inheritance, right? This is the example of single inheritance, and this is the example of multiple inheritance, right? This is the example of what? Multiple inheritance, right? This is the example of multiple inheritance, and this is the example of single inheritance. So here in the example of hybrid inheritance, single inheritance and multiple inheritance are explained together. Clear? So this is the example of hybrid inheritance. Please note this all example. Okay, next question is, what is hierarchical inheritance in C++? In the class of hierarchical inheritance, it is defined as the process of deriving more than one class from a base class, right? So here only one base class exists, or more than one derived class exists. For example, this is the base class. Class A is what? Base class. But class B is derived class. Class B is what? Derived class. And class B inheriting all the property and behavior of class A, right? Class C is also what? Derived class. Class C is also derived class, and class C again inheriting all the properties of class A, right? And class D also derived class, it is also a derived class, and class D again inheriting all the properties and behavior of class A. So in this example only one base class exists. Class A is base class, but class B, class C and class D is derived class. So this is the example of hierarchical inheritance. Please note this example. So I hope you got to learn something from my video, and if you like my video, please give me like, please subscribe my channel, and don't forget to share with your friend and family. Thank you.